The Roman pools. In the 1800s, excavations carried out somewhere in a meadow in a rural commune uncovered the remains of 3 swimming pools of Gallo-Roman origin. At the start of the 1900s, the pools were refilled with water again, and a few decades later, scientists were chosen to clear and research them. In this photo, dated 1927, we can see very well how deep they were. Just look at the height of the man in this photo. A few months after the research, a review stated the following:
"We have just updated the remains of the old swimming pool of a Roman camp. There are 3 swimming pools, 2 rectangular and 1 circular. The columns which adorned them have only been partially found."
The pools were presumably fed by large aqueducts. In order to bring these interesting excavations to light, the local town had to overcome the most serious difficulties. Given the archaeological interest, the municipality would be materially helped by the state because its resources hardly allow it to go beyond the expenses already incurred. And finally, in the mid-1900s, the municipality decided to put the former Roman water town back into service. Slowly after, the 3 small swimming pools for children were opened. The official inauguration of the entire structure, as known today, took place at the start of the 2nd millennium. Little from knowing that short time after, in 2017, it would close its doors again. In this day and age, the pool is still out of breath. Figuratively, I will breathe life in it once again, as I'm exploring it today in its neglecting state, shortly before reconstruction started a while ago. A project of more than 4 million euros will save the thermal heritage of the town. The giant bubble, which covers the current pool, will disappear by the opening of a new outdoor swimming pool. And soon, the pool will reopen its doors for visitors once again. So welcome back everyone in a brand new video. Today I am in France and you can probably already guess where I am. I'm sitting in the chair of a lifeguard and today I have a wonderful abandoned pool to show you that has been closed ever since 2004. So for more than 15 years this pool has been pretty untouched. There are very slight traces of vandalism and this is something unique that you've never seen before. So enjoy watching this video. So have a look at this massive construction. The roof is so unique. From the outside it almost looks like a circus. Absolutely amazing. And that makes this pool also so extremely unique, because I think we will never see anything quite similar to this pool again. Over there are still all the numbers. So those used to be all different lanes. And I think this was also an Olympic pool. As you can see, there are still some toys and everything laying inside of the pool. And what I found out is that it was mostly a municipal pool. And that means that it was mainly used by people from the local town. But the symmetry is absolutely satisfying. And it's actually a hot and sunny day, and to be honest, inside of this pool, it's even way hotter. Have a look at this, wow. Imagine the people all just used to stand here and just dive down. I think it's approximately around 4 to 5 meters deep. For me, this is actually a very special explore, because ever since I was 4 years old, I started with swimming lessons, I did scuba diving, and that's actually also how I met Raymond. He must have loved being with this exploration and accompanying me, because yeah, to me, I've been swimming all my life. I've been spending my time in a pool like twice a week until I was 12, 13, and I started making priorities with my school and my other hobbies, like exploring. That's what I'm doing now. Wow. So the video will mostly be a walkthrough. It's funny. That's where I filmed the intro at the chair, and you can still see all the promotion from different companies as well. The advertisements. Definitely for ventilation. Actually, right over there, I think, was the main entrance, and the exit was on another side. Well, let's just go down here. Wow. Have you guys actually ever seen a pool in this shape before? And then especially talking about the roof. I've never seen anything similar to this before, to be honest. Wow. It's very cool to look at this construction as a whole. Also all the lights on top. Just imagine when this place was vivid, it was active. All the people of the town were swimming inside of here. Even outside, what I'm gonna show later, there were some tiny outside pools, and I think they were mostly for the children. But definitely this slide was also used by the children. Over here was quite rather undeep, so as you can see over there. And of course, every pool has a clock with this design, so typical. Oh, look at this. There's even still a party at. People apparently had a party inside of this place, I think. Wow. Like I mentioned over here, all the promotion of these companies. I think they were mostly local companies, because that was the main audience and public that visited this place. Okay, so let's walk up these stairs. And over here were actually doors leading to a bar area, and what I immediately noticed is that they also used to do indoor scuba diving over here. Sub Aqua. Look over here on the ground. Even still all the receipts are laying here. And wait a second, so I found a calendar from 2004, but this receipt is dated from June 2016. That must have been the last date of one of the last dates, so it's definitely way shorter abandoned. That's probably also the reason why it's still in such a good state. The price for an adult, I think, was €3.50. That's very cheap. Very, very cheap. In the Netherlands, you pay way more to actually visit a pool. Wow. So many attributes of swimming are still left behind there. There are way more receipts like the other one, just all on the ground. And they are dated from, this one's from 2014, 2016 again, 2016, 2014, yeah. I think 2016 is quite a good estimation. Wow. Well, I was talking about receipts, but this is a complete mountain full of receipts. What the heck? All right, that was all the administration they've done. Whoa, look over here. Well, it's definitely evident that they used to do indoor scuba diving inside of this place. This was the bar area I was talking about. As you can see, it is in quite a bad condition. The panels of the ceiling have all fallen down. I think this place has also been slightly ransacked and struck by vandalism. Yeah, some graffiti over here too. Okay, let's check out these other rooms because they had actually way more here. Over here you had one of those goals that they mostly used to do with water polo. They used to float in the water and you had to make a goal by throwing the ball into the net. And over here you had a little stage, and I can definitely tell what this was for. Because the parents from children, for example, who had swimming lessons would sit here and just chit-chat with some other parents of children that were also attending the swimming lessons. And they were, of course, looking at their children who were eventually just swimming in the pool over there. And then inside of this room there was actually an area for fitness, but very basic. There was still a gym bench, but yeah, there was not much left. No weights anymore. But look over here, guys. Still all the armbands of the children. So many things. It's all just dumped on the ground there. But also still plenty of them are laying there. And they were used for aqua gym, it's saying here. Dang. On these shelves, it's veritably untouched. Have a look at this. This was all just once left there. And nowadays, it's still there. Absolutely incredible how this place remained dead untouched, while there was often just yaff, just vandalizing the place. Really incredible. And then this I find absolutely very strange. Just wait for it. You might have already heard the sound coming from here. This was clearly the power room and the engine room. But it seems that over here there is still gushing water inside. Yeah, have a look. These pumps. Dang, there is still gushing water through all these water pipes. It's not turned off. But why? I'm not gonna touch anything because it seems that there is quite a big pressure on the water, which is streaming and flowing through these pipes and tubes. Dang. Okay, so that was it for the ground area, but there was also actually stairs going up. And if you've been to indoor pools before, you probably know what's still waiting for us. Well, over here you can already see some of them, some lockers. And I think because it's only 3 lockers on the ground floor, that this was actually from the staff, so the lifeguards and also the staff which was working in the bar, for example. The ticket sellers. Oh, over here they had a tiny office. Dang, there was still a monitor just standing on top. For a difference, it's not smashed this time. Let's peek through the window again one more time for an upstairs perspective. It's quite cool. And this is why I was thinking that the pool was abandoned since 2004. Because it's sad over here. And then look, this was the pool when it was still active in its glorious days. Dang, what a difference just 4 years can make. My gosh. There's another photo inside of a team with the trainer. There are still so many interesting things to see here, and that's why I still wanted to make a video on this place. And I really hope that you can appreciate that, because we mostly film mansions and houses, but sometimes something different is also really cool in my opinion. There was a certain sports club and they had an existence of 50 years. And that's what they were celebrating in 2004. Tiny fridge here. Whoa, this is typically giving me pool vibes, guys. Just a hallway with stones like this in the tiles. Straight out of a typical pool. We've done one indoor pool before in Germany. That was also really cool. But this one is way different again. Over here was the actual exit. These glass doors where the exit is saying over there. Absolutely crazy. Now let's explore this floor. And over here were all the dressing rooms. Quite a bunch, but of course it was also a quite big pool. It was able to hold much visitors. Let's see if much has changed with these benches, but honestly I don't think so. So these ones had to be up, then the door, yep, and then you closed it. Door was locked. Nothing has changed during the years. And then on this side were actually, of course, all the lockers. Even still, all the keys are inside of the lockers. Dang. So yeah, it started with one obviously, and let's see how many lockers they had in total. I think they had 205 lockers in total. So then you can definitely tell how many visitors this pool could hold. It was not only a recreational pool, but I think mostly just a pool where they also used to do sports with clubs and where just a town would come. Families with their children. This was a private area, maybe the changing room for staff members. Oh yeah, and then you had these group dressing rooms. I also still remember them. And this one was for women, and the red one was for men. Where it's saying all the lockers are working with coins of 20 euro cents. So cool. It's even continuing over here with the numbers, so they even had more lockers than only 205. 241 in total. It's saying over here it is prohibited to eat in the dressing rooms. It's closed. This one too. Well, let's see what's over there. It doesn't seem very interesting, does it? What is this chair doing here? What the heck? Alright, well, I think by then we actually already came to an end point of this video. There is only these stairs going down. Let's check that out last. And then I think we will literally explore every inch of this pool. It's going down to the showers, it's saying here. Oh wow. Still another little area here with the toilets and the showers. It's in quite a bad state again. And this was another exit. Oh, wait a second. This was, yeah. This was like a little infirmary. Yeah, I can relate. There's even still some medicines over there. So yeah, just in case of emergency or when something happened, people were actually treated there. There was even a brancard. And this was probably then the emergency exit in that case. And then I think if I walk through this door, yeah, there we are. Back again. The huge pool area. And what an adventure this was. So we've actually made it outside. And yeah, I think those used to be pools, I'm not sure. What do you think?
Seems a bit weird for a pool.
Yeah, I was thinking so too. Maybe it was more like a lake or something.
Yeah, the floor don't seems really...
Yeah, it's not like the typical pool tiles, you know, the white tiles. But yeah, imagine the outside. This is literally like a circus, like I mentioned. Right now you're able to see it better, but this was literally like a circus. So strange. Anyways, we're gonna head back now, I think. You can hear the water here too. So it's still connected. Maybe with these outside things. This was an epic place, guys. I definitely do not regret that we visited it. And I'm really happy that I got the chance to explore a place like this. And I sincerely hope that you enjoyed it too. And of course, if you did, then you already know the drill. Please do not forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel right down below, and also do not forget to leave your thoughts in the comment section right down below. If you want to see more videos like this instead of all the beautiful abandoned mansions, castles and houses we visit, then I would love to hear it from you too. And then as always, I want to thank you for watching, and we will see you on our next adventure. Peace out.